cool thing to show you. Really, man? Yeah, it's far out and technical and stuff. Awesome, yeah. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Cool.
Well, good morning, everybody.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning.
You guys going to say something?
No,
Everybody's like,
no, we're just, hey, good morning. How you doing?
In the back, I can't talk all the time.
I'm still getting coffee and everything else, and so I'm just waking up.
It's
But
cold.
welcome to Tech Shamans.
Well, it's cold. That's the problem.
It is
Yes,
cold.
it is cold this
Anything
morning.
under 50 in Florida is freezing, and so it's tough.
Yeah, I know. It's like, I woke up this morning. It was at the house. It was 38.
Oh, see, that's I'm going to stay in bed weather right there.
Well, it's kind of funny. So I'm going to start off here talking about some camera tech. Right?
Cool.
So you know how everybody says, oh, electronics, they love the cold, right?
No,
Yeah.
no.
They like the cold, but they don't like the cold wet.
Yes.
So yesterday, we were over at Big Cat Rescue doing a My Chamber TV shoot, right? And we thought we were going to be shooting inside, but we got moved to the outside. And I had 2 cameras that were refusing to start up.
Oh. Just
And
because
I'd
of
never had that
humidity.
happen before. I mean, I've actually shot in snow, so it's, to me, I never had a problem, but these 2 just refused. And then I had our travel streamer, and maybe Adam can help me with all this, because he is our computer guy.
Official guru guy.
It booted up, everything seemed to work, but when the video card got ready to go, it didn't want to do anything. So the only way we were able to solve this is I took my jacket off, put it over the machine, turned it on, and let it run for like 5 minutes.
To warm it up.
Condensation.
Everything worked.
Yeah, condensation
Amazing.
building it.
So,
That's-
the whole thing about, computers and stuff like cold. They like dry cold. They don't like wet.
Yeah, they like Arizona cold. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's not the heat. It's not the heat.
It's the humidity. Yeah.
Yeah, I like whenever I break out my cameras and you're sitting there and you're like, you only got an hour to shoot.
Oh, yeah.
And it's going to take 30 minutes for this lens to defog.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
there's nothing
Yeah.
you can do. You can wipe them,
So
you can heat them up.
You're
They're not gonna do
driving with the windows open, so
Yes.
you're hoping all the
So I'm sorry, we just jumped right into the
Yeah,
show.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
we were like this. So we have the whole Tech Shaman crew here.
Yeah.
We've got in the top corner. It's almost I almost feel like it's the Brady Bunch type of thing. Or remember Laughing?
Oh yeah.
Okay, that's kind of a.
I mean, no, I'm far too young to remember laughing. No, I don't know what you're talking about.
Rerun.
Yeah.
We have Erik Cox in the top. We have Rusty Taylor in the other top. There's Adam Miles in the bottom with me, and then there's me. That's over here. So. But yeah, last week was our inaugural show, or Monday was our inaugural show, and I had more baby boomers
That's great.
thank me for a show like ours because we're dumbing down the tech stuff, and now they're like, oh, hey, that's really kind of cool. So that was pretty neat, I thought.
It's definitely the do you need a TV in your refrigerator today? And
And I have come to the conclusion I do want one.
I kind of
Just saying.
I've had that discussion and I've lost. But yeah, I like the fact that I could maybe do a laundry list. I was just at Best Buy yesterday, and I got in trouble because as we were going to get a computer, I was looking at all the freezers and refrigerators, and there's there's an app, and you can actually go and sign into the app, and there's 4 cameras in your refrigerator and the inside. You don't even open it, and I can see my refrigerator from space if I wanted to, and I can figure out if I actually do have,
That's exactly why I wanted that screen on there. And believe it or not, it reminds me of an old George Carlin when he was doing a stand-up skit and about the people, going into the refrigerator and holding the refrigerator door open for a long time.
Yeah.
And back in the old days, they used to have to take oil paintings.
Oh.
He's like, why don't you just take a Polaroid, sit down, decide what you want, and go back to the fridge and
there
get
you
it.
go. Yeah.
Well, there you go. You don't even have to open the fridge now. Look,
You're
you
done.
just
I
turn
know.
on the computer, hit the camera,
And
look
I
what's
do.
inside.
Now Now mine would be sad because I'd have like a beer, 3 bottles of vodka, and some strawberries. But you know, and so I get 2 sandwiches that are half eaten. But you know, it's like this. At least I could show people in the grocery store how sad my life is.
I want it for 2 reasons. Because one, it's probably the only TV in the house that I'll actually get to see what I want to see on.
That doesn't have
kids
kid shows on it. Yeah,
exactly.
The Dora the Explorer.
And then the second one is that 35-minute call at the store. Hey, what do we need from the grocery store? Well, I don't know. Let me think. And you sit there for 35 minutes.
And you're wandering around the grocery store.
Boom,
Yeah.
I'd rather just go through.
Now, it terrifies me that someone else may be able to access my 3 bottles of vodka and strawberries and go like, we're going to send this sad person an email scam, for dating.
That is the
her stroller stir some.
Beer, you need to buy it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, look at this voice across
Bud Light ad.
Hey, yeah, you start getting the ads because the biggest thing right now is the security of the Internet of Things inside the house.
Yeah,
they have to make it easy for the average Joe to be able to install this stuff and the technology and make it all work together. But by doing so, a lot of times they open us up to
the firewall has to basically be very, very vulnerable in order for them to work. And unless you're running something very high end, my mother-in-law's, all of her Echo Dots in the house, we from my house can tell ours to talk and tell her stuff because that's how open it is. I mean, it's kind of useful. In a way. Yeah, because
hey, Grandma, there's
It's always useful until somebody wants to use it for unuseful.
Yeah. I was so proud because my father-in-law installed one of those doorbells with the cameras, and he's got his own sensor, the Ring. And I proudly gave him the article that was just in like the Atlantic
spying on their doors.
No, where this guy, he started to hear a voice, not my father-in-law, but the guy in the article started to hear a voice in his house and was like, someone was talking to him, and someone said, hey, I just thought I'm in like Warsaw, Poland, and I'm a hacker, and you really have a serious problem with your firewall and everything else and your security, and you should get it looked at. And it's like, bye, and so he's like, yeah, I just got done taking all that. Yeah, he's like, yeah, we were just fooling around.
and for $2.95, I will take care of this for you.
Yeah, it goes from some concerned high school student to some scam,
Yeah.
And so, but
I mean, that technology it's become very useful.
Oh, it has.
Yeah. It's unfortunate that you got to make sure that, in my personal opinion, I think you should have 2 systems: one for your Echo and your talking system, and then one for your internet for like your computers, your games.
Yeah.
I mean, wouldn't you say that would be the better way to do it?
I carry 3 routers in the house, and I have one that's very private, very locked down. It sits behind firewalls and everything else that my computers and servers sit on.
Oh, okay.
And then I have one that's basically an open internet that I broadcast out because I have the antenna on top of the house that'll go about 3 miles, and because when I hit the front gate of the property, I want to be able to have internet. And then during the hurricanes and stuff, we allow the neighbors to jump on to be able to, because it's fiber optics. All we have to do is throw it.
ISP around his neighborhood.
Exactly. And for only $5.99, you can have additional bandwidth.
We have high-speed internet.
And then we have the traditional internet, the Spectrum internet that I allow the house stuff to run on. So none of our vulnerabilities, like my wife, when she jumps on her computer and stuff, all of that stays on our private network.
That's smart. Yeah.
So, if they want to break in, they've got 3 different ones to play with, and
those are the things that you have to set up versus, because if you call Spectrum and go like, here's what I want to do, they're just going to go and
and they try to tell you, oh, you can't do that.
You can't do that syndrome. That's one thing I tell a lot of both my clients and a lot of the other people in, like, you can't do that syndrome. You can't. It's like you guys can't or won't do that, but like the Spectrum internet or whatever it is. And so
now I got a question for both of you, and it's something I've been having a hard time for the last few years with this. To me, they always give us dynamic IPs, which roll. I always like to have a static IP. I have 5 of them at the house, and I assign them to my different network
things. Okay.
How do you feel about that for internet security?
Well, it really depends. If usually when somebody does find your your IP address out there, then they want to make a targeted attack. It does make it a lot easier, unfortunately. And sometimes you don't even know what's happening. So that's always a concern. Also, the dynamic IPs that they give out, though, lately have not really been changing all that often.
Very dynamic,
I've had a dynamic IP that stayed for, I think it was like 3 years
Oh, wow.
at home, or at our office, that just never changes. I really don't want to use a static at the office, for instance, because I have a server there that I remote into, so I don't want to have that there. But again, a static is preferable, but
Hey, not to interrupt you. Let's let Adam tell about who he is, because me and Erik got to do this last week on Monday. So
let's introduce
Adam,
ourselves.
give him a little bit of really quick background about what you do.
The why you know what you're talking about right now. Yeah.
Why are you
answering this?
Oh, okay. Well, I'm Adam with AMS Computers, and been a computer technician for over 10 years. Been in operation. I do custom-built gaming systems in our store, full regular computer repairs.
Cool.
Also, small business and medium business IT services, and go out, install networks, computer repairs on site, managed services, and where we can, manage networks from afar, remote services. Pretty much anything that has to do with technology, we're involved in it.
Yeah.
Right down to the point that we do soldering, low-grade soldering work.
That's cool.
He helped us.
That's nice.
He fixed one of our machines that took a dump.
Yeah, right over on Ridge Road, not too far from here. So.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. I have a couple friends, Gabby and everybody. They talk highly about Adam and the services that he offers and stuff like that. Well liked in the community, and comes highly recommended.
I wouldn't go that far.
Yeah.
Well, we were wanting to boost him up a little bit, You're a whole other story.
And if nobody wants to utilize our services, we also sell computers in stores.
Oh,
so
cool.
we can do off-lease business equipment or refurbs or new.
Nice.
So we're basically a small little Best Buy.
If you've got a small business, that's the way to go. I know there's the Best Buys of the world, but I picked up a couple of refurbished things for some salespeople, and that's, those are the type of things that if you can get something refurbished, and it gets dropped or dumped in the ocean or whatever, it's a little bit less painful than
How about $2,500 workstation laptops with the NVIDIA Quattros K1100s with 2 gigs DDR5. 32 gigs of RAM, that machine was, and it had a 512 solid state. We sold that for $1,000.
Wow.
Nice.
So someone online, Adam, someone in the messenger says, how about MacBooks?
MacBooks, yes. Few and far between. Macs, Apple products, they hold their value very well, especially for the first 5 years. But we can get them. And when we get one, we advertise it out there in the community.
Goes pretty quick.
And it goes very quickly.
Do you work on them?
We do work on them, yes.
Yeah.
All levels of repairs.
Do you replace batteries?
We can, yes.
Awesome.
Wow.
That's a big
That's
thing.
a big
Screens, mobile devices, we only work on Apple products and the mobile
Awesome.
technology. So.
Wow.
That's all.
Well, they're the only ones that actually last the 6 months.
Yeah.
They're usually
of the
the
term.
ones that you put the largest investment in. So if you have a phone out there that you're gonna put $200 or $300 into, and your screen replacement is
You might as well.
$200 or $300.
I see the people driving around in a Pinto and they've got an iPhone XR.
Yeah.
Really?
They got more money in their phone than they do their car.
Oh, yeah,
or
I do.
house.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they buy a new phone every time one comes out.
Yeah.
I can't.
I don't know what you're talking about because I didn't just buy the latest iPad. So
I'm looking at it and I'm like, I got my Pro 9.7 at home, and as a matter of fact, I have it with me. But I'm like, that's so nice. I mean,
I still have another one that I use for the for some of the camera work. So we actually have 2 smaller iPads that we actually use for the teleprompters.
I had a customer come in with the 12.9, the second gen, come in, and she had spilled baby formula. And it's not working anymore, of course. And she says, what's going on with it? It's logic board. She's fried the logic board.
Oh, wow.
I mean, the investment into it is going to cost, you might as well upgrade. She says, well, that's funny. You mean to tell me that, it was just baby milk? Well,
It's just liquid.
it's not supposed to get wet.
Yeah.
He's not feeling so hot. He's
Yeah,
blowing
I'm
us out.
sorry.
Yeah. So
I forgot on that
I'm
one.
gonna throw it out.
the
I'll get it.
Yes.
yeah.
Kill me later.
Now I have.
I'll
new
put $1
stuff.
in the jar every
Yeah,
time it
exactly.
happens.
Now, I'm a big proponent in, I have new stuff right now, but it's stuff that, for like tech and electronics, there's always new tech coming out. I'm a photographer, so there's always, the second you purchase something, you have the last version, because there's going to be something in 18 months.
You're already behind when you buy it.
So you buy, I'm a big proponent, I don't know about you guys, but buy tech for what you're going to be using it for. Like this is expensive, but I'm using it for client work and some other things and the show and tell and stuff. And now I just replaced my stepson's computer of 8 years ago, and so it's one of those like we didn't need to before. So you don't always need the latest and greatest phones and stuff like this.
So Adam, what's it's January 2019? What's the big bad boy coming out on the block from say Intel?
Oh,
Intel,
yeah.
well, the Intel i9s, obviously, they're trying to reduce their processing capabilities, trying to get down their smaller dies and get them sped up. AMD just released the Threadripper 2 generation and kind of started beating out Intel, and I think Intel's now trying to really ramp it up. And the newer technology coming out, it looks like they're trying to take some of their server technology and use some of the Xenon cores and move it over to the consumer line. But price-wise, it's it's $1,000.
Is it worth, like, if you're doing, like, what would I need to be doing besides heavy gaming or accounting or something to like have an i9? Why would I need an i9 versus an i7?
You really need to have software that is written for multiple threads.
Okay.
In order to really start utilizing the technology that's coming out.
Besides. Bitcoin mining or whatever it is.
Well, yeah. I mean, come on, that's so gone. I mean,
yeah, exactly.
If you were in 2008, you did good. Today,
today that's a bad idea.
The algorithm they're trying to hit on now. I mean, forget about it. It's crazy. It's so tough. All these people got on the bandwagon, drove up the prices of video cards.
Yeah.
Nobody can game anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, it's horrible. And how much did they spend in electricity? Forget about it.
Yeah. And so now those people don't they don't need the i9s, but like, so what would I need like for an i9?
Video processing. If you want to, if you're editing video,
I want an i9.
John wants an i9. John needs an i9.
I want an i10.
Yeah.
Video processing. Anything that would obviously, if you're in the field and say time is money.
Yeah. It sounds like this is a business expense type of thing.
This is more going to be business.
For me and you, it's the rendering. It's taking that rendering time down. And you're putting it in half.
When I just bought a new computer about 4 or 5 months ago, and I spent it made me cry when I wrote the check. However, my videos work was, I went from rendering and it was taking me an hour. Mm-hmm. Now it takes like 7 minutes.
Right.
And that's, if I'm charging X number of dollars an hour, that's an easy win. But, for my stepson who's, playing Call of Duty, he's not going
to see it.
Yeah, and see, a lot of people don't realize too that you can have a badass, like nowadays, the i9 in the computer, but if you don't back that up with great video cards, it's
great
useless.
Video cards,
and the software, like you said, the software has to be able to manipulate the processing speed.
That's
and
a
if
good
it can't,
point.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're useless.
So you're talking about ATI came out with their 2060 and their 2060 Ti. The 2060 they're only charging $349 for it, which is I thought now the Ti is probably $10,000, but that's what Intel said. Our ATI said when they announced it at CES that you can get I think it was the 2060. Have you seen that?
John, are you showing your age saying ATI?
Yeah, Radeon.
Come on, it's technically now AMD.
AMD, yeah.
Look, don't. I always say the same thing. I always do the same thing.
Take the ATI Radeon off.
Exactly.
Because I see it, that's what I call it.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Hey, and look. Intel was taking their APUs and they're starting to mirror and take in AMD's graphics chipsets and start integrating them in.
Oh, wow.
Because, don't get me wrong, the Intel HDs, they're just, they're not there.
What?
Oh yeah, that's the stacked. Send that link.
He's looking at
the new stacked memory is what they're
I've got
AMD's.
Pull up AMD.com.
I have that already.
What here's the loaded question for our audience people. So my mother-in-law wants to do surfing the internet and sharing emails and doing general work. Does she just still need like an i3, or can she get away with a Chromebook? I mean, do you even need much to?
Well, as far as when it comes to like a Chromebook, I always have to explain to people that, or even a small device like that, it's not technically a computer.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
it is an
tablet.
internet-connected device.
So if you're looking at emails, Chromebook. But if you're going to do anything,
if you want to do anything, yes, at least.
So you need a real
and yes. The Pentium lines, you'll see a lot of those $300 sub $300 laptops. They're usually always the Pentium line.
Yeah.
Those are modified Atom processors.
Oh wow.
Those are just.
So
Atom.
it's like having a big cell phone.
Yes.
Yeah.
You remember the Atoms?
Yeah.
Did you see the Intel release the size of their new motherboard? It's that big, literally.
It's the size.
Oh, yeah.
It's the size of a
big.
chocolate chips.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
But they said that they're going to a smaller platform so they can make the phones, the tablets, that stuff run so much faster, and actually being able to have good computing power.
Yeah, I just got the new computer. I got a couple of the solid state drives, and I was like, "Oh, cool! Where are they?" And they were like these little packs of like gum-looking things.
Yeah.
And I'm like, "These are 2 terabyte, whatever."
Intel's finally getting on board with where society has been going, and that is mobile, right?
Where Apple
so
went.
yeah,
Yeah.
so
Catching
nowadays, I have a Nuka home, that's this big, that sits on the desk, that'll do everything that my big towers used to do. You know what I mean? But 99% of the time, I'm on the road, I've got a small laptop or my iPad or my phone that I do all my business from now.
I just have my iPad to travel around with when I go around to see
And you hear,
stuff.
and you hear Apple is getting ready to get away from Intel. Technically, they're developing their own.
Well, they've been
their
doing
own.
that. Yeah.
But now we're talking the PC, the laptops and the desktops now.
Right.
They're going to merge Mac OS and iOS together. And what better way to do that is you develop your own processor that can handle it.
So they're going to go back to the original way Apple was.
Yes.
Right.
Because Apple was not Intel. As a matter of fact, from an editor standpoint, I had in studio at that time when Intel came out, I had the Mac OS tower and the Mac Intel tower, and my Mac OS tower blew the Intel away.
Oh yeah, that's why
Smoked
video editors and
I'm
people like you
why
bought
did
it.
you
Yeah.
do this? And then after that, we couldn't upgrade our Mac OS machines anymore because they weren't Intel based.
They're
Because everybody
Power
voted for Intel
PC.
If we were
Power
better,
PC.
Yeah.
RISC and CISC are the two back platforms that OS was on. I think it was RISC is Intel based, and CISC was always iOS. They actually had a better platform, and they would have been better off going to Intel and having Intel build on it. I think we'd be a lot further along.
Yeah.
By personal opinion, not saying that I'm a guru or anything, but I think
you're not. You're a shaman.
I'm a shaman.
Yeah,
Yes. It's an opinion, and we all have one, right?
Yeah.
But to me, it was a more stable platform, right?
Yeah.
And if you go back to those days and you think about it, right? What did you buy an Apple for, right? You bought it to do graphics, video work, and
you were
everything
an
like that.
artist type of person.
It handled that very, very well. Intel could handle numerical very, very well.
Right.
And the thing is, Apple could do it better than Intel, but Intel had to have something that they were better at. So they were basically data-driven. If you needed a database to run really fast, you ran it on Intel.
Yeah.
If you needed to do graphical, you did it on an Apple.
Well, and that's I'm always the conspiracy theorist of the group. I'm like, follow the money, because it's follow who was giving each company the most money to do, or discounting the most. Exactly. It's like, hey, these guys are doing this, and a larger company comes in and goes, we'll give you this if we can put our stickers on your stuff.
So there had to be money going back there.
Well, I think so.
Apple was in a financial crunch back then when they made that turn too.
Yeah, they made great computers, but not there was a limited number of people. Well, and also
they were trying to save money, and they were trying to build the company back up, and it was a great way to take a load off of them as far as a financial burden.
And when the iPhones came out, you know, they started developing their own chipsets, you know, the A5, the A7, the A9, the A10, the A12. I'm not sure what they're up to now, but I think that was their way to test the waters to see if they could have their own chip again, so they're not dealing with Intel anymore. And I think they finally hit that plateau going, okay, we don't need Intel anymore. We'll just do our own chips because our chips are badass and they're working. They're in every laptop, not laptop, but every iPad, iPhone there is. And, you know, and some of the stuff that we can do on an iPad, which blows my mind, is I can put Premiere on an iPad.
Oh yeah, I've got video editing on here.
Full editing, just like I'm sitting over here with a tower or a PC, and it'll actually outperform the PC.
Oh, I've got Rusty is our big systems person. He
I
knows.
can't wait for some new stuff from this guy.
He knows systems like the back of his hand, and I think that you probably would agree that the Apple is going back to their original ecosystem, you know, product plan.
Yeah. Completely closed system.
And in closing it out, even with their technology. So, you know, they ran into the thing with Samsung, you know, they're fighting with each other. But I think you'd agree.
I would love to see Samsung jump on board with Apple.
Yeah.
And just crush the marketplace with it. Because Samsung's very innovative, and they're very at the forefront of technology. Sometimes they come out before the market's ready for it. That's
like
been a hindrance for them. They need, you know, they need someone like Apple as a good partner, and you know, and I can see it going, you know, tenfolds over because
they could, because you know, sometimes when you come out so far ahead with technology, it'll never catch on because nobody even knew what to use it for.
Yeah.
So
it's like
it's
Apple's
just like
Newton.
You know, for instance, when the Samsung products were able to, you know when you were looking at it, and you were able to, you know, maneuver the screen and stuff. That's great. But who really utilized it? I mean, nobody. And everybody.
When it came
most
out,
of the time,
now it's like
turned it off.
now FaceTime or the unlock that I have on my iPad. There are people are like, "Whoa, that's so new," and it's not.
Like, no, it's been around forever. Yeah, technology. It's funny, like NFC technology and stuff like that.
Oh yeah,
we've been playing with for how many years? I mean, 10, 12 years.
Yeah.
And you know, it's Google owned NFC patents before Apple ever came out with Apple Pay, and they had Google Pay working, but it never hit the forefront because Google has this big problem with, and you know how I feel about Google this second.
Same here. Yeah.
They have an idiot that runs their company that, you know, on the developer side.
As much as we like it.
Yes, because he doesn't. I think that they're so technical that they don't know how to be relevant to the real world now. Right. And they're taking technology that's great, and they're saying, oh, well, it's not being adaptive, right? You haven't even pushed it into the forefront of the marketplace.
You haven't let people play with it.
Yeah,
they did. You bring up a good point because Google Glass, which I bought, which was stupid, but they gave me a pair of Google Glass, and I played with them for a long time before they discontinued. The problem with Google sometimes is they'll come out with these, quote, innovative things that nobody knows they need, and because no one knows they need them and they don't have a big push behind it, they go, oh, that didn't work, and
they shelve it in great technology.
You know what you know who you're talking about? Microsoft.
Yeah.
Because this is what happens when a software company tries to make hardware.
Yes.
And this is what you start seeing. Yeah, the Zune. There's the Microsoft.
The Zune was a failed music player that was an iPad.
The Windows Phone.
Oh yeah.
Okay. That was a good. They had something going, and they shutted the whole thing down. And the problem with it is you just never know when you can get on board with something before they destroy it. and you know they don't realize they had something going.
Yeah.
And that's very frustrating because when you start focusing your attention on it, and it disappears.
And that goes back to their core, the core of how they do business, right? Because Alphabet, which is the parent company of Google, people don't know that. If you don't know that, you need to go look it up. Whenever you know, that's how they can get away with a lot of things, and they move stuff around. But Alphabet is very good at finding new technology and buying it and absorbing it. Right. So they'll come into a little company that's really got this innovative piece that could be what drives us to tomorrow, and then they bring it in-house and it gets just murdered.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's sad because there is so much stuff that is missed in the marketplace.
It's like the Giant when he brings in like a toy and they go, "Oh, Giant, here's a new toy," and he goes, "Oh, cool." Oh, I broke it.
There's no way to advertise on it. Let's get rid of it.
Let's get rid of this. And so, unfortunately, you're right. It's the kind of, they just don't, they go, okay, we're going to live 10 years in the future, and because you don't want to come with us right now, we're going to abandon this project.
Have we seen any Google placements on Nest thermostats yet?
No,
not yet.
They're it's
it's coming. You're gonna go change your temperature. You're gonna be like, wait, you sure you want that? Here's a parka.
There's my follow the money conspiracy theory again, which is like Google, because we'll touch on a little bit on Be Local, is Google came in and they said, hey, there was these proximity marketing things that were really cool, and they sent you messages on your phone, and they were really neat, and they were useful because you could get specials walking by a restaurant. You was like, hey, come in for free appetizers. So stuff like that. And then Google came out and said, no, you guys are using this for spam and it's bad. And they said, we're shutting this off as of this date.
And they had no market data behind
there's no market data. But the thing is, and I should have brought it in today, about 2 weeks later, both me and one of my clients got something in the mail that's a Google proximity marketing thing.
Yes.
And they figured out,
and I was
they saw that we were making big money off of the technology. Yeah. And they said, oh, we can put the same AdWords platform into this, a pay-per-click platform into this, and make billions of dollars. So we're going to go ahead and shutter the nearby technology, and we're going to tell everybody that proximity marketing doesn't work.
It's bad.
On this level.
Or it's bad.
Or it's bad because it's spamming.
Yeah.
But yet, we're going to leave a system on inside your phone that's going to allow only our technology to bake through.
Yeah.
What a lot of people don't realize is, like with our app still today will push through notifications and do everything. But I don't have the $3 to $4 million sitting in a bank account to re-educate what the big 800-pound gorilla did, and neither does. There's a lot of small companies that invested millions upon millions of investors' dollars into this technology.
There's big companies like Nordstrom's and
overnight
Macy's
were gone. Yeah, you know, I mean, they were relying on that. That was their technology, you know, and it hurt.
But it was good technology.
Yeah, and I mean,
sometimes I think it was a little before its time.
But Google came out and the current beacons kind of neutered what they're now. They're going to go further later, but they're testing like what your hours are and stuff.
3 years ago a beacon for my retail store.
Yeah,
basically to just zone in closer to where we're located.
Yeah, it's what your hours are and anything you can put on Google Business.
And you're going to get this nice little card, just like you do for the spend $150. We're going to give you $150 of AdWords. You're going to get that same thing for Google Google Businesses for nearby proximity marketing. I see it coming. I know I'm probably going to get a letter from Google from us saying this, because they're going to be like, cease and desist. You can't tell our secrets.
You can't, no more of that.
I'm assuming, because I'm very, very close to this technology, you know, and I just see the writing on the wall, because the moment that they came out with the notification, all of us were like, okay, how far are they going to go with this? And then they're like, oh, December 6th, we're shutting down nearby. Sorry, developers, but we'll allow you to still do it with the SDKs, and you'll still be able to run the beacons through our cloud platform, but only to your own apps and everything. Well, here's the thing. You got hundreds of millions of beacons on these networks that Google has access to. That now me and you just paid for to put them out there, and now they can push anything they want to through that intra-network. And there's nothing that we can do to stop them.
You could literally start. One of the things that I'm expecting, here's my Erik saying, is that it's going to be like Gmail, which is the Gmail platform and things like that are like, oh, you get free email or you get free notifications. All we ask is that we put a little banner on top and we allow this to be advertised on. I think that's probably, or you have to pay us a lot of money, or if you want to pay us. But again, I think they're going to monetize even the platform itself. And that's the whole thing, is like, what do you give up, and what are businesses willing to give up, and what are you willing to give up in terms of privacy and things like that? When I open my email, I get like weird, ads and stuff like this, like, oh, I see that you like, dirt clods and monkeys, and I'm like, well, how'd you know that, And so,
what are you looking at right now?
Yeah, exactly. We're having a sale on this random thing. But that's the thing, is what are we willing to accept for some of this technology? Because it's like, I love Gmail because it's real super easy and it's on my phone and stuff like this. But I kind of know that when I'm talking to someone about something, if I'm talking about, I'm going to New York for a client in a little bit, and I know that I'm going to be getting some more ads
it's all
from
Facebook too.
Yeah, and Facebook is the same way.
If you have Facebook Messenger, your camera and microphone are accessible by them at any time.
Yeah,
they're always listening.
Yeah,
and you know what? And kind of funny. Not that I'm not trying to bunny trail, but you know how.
No, it's good.
Because the whole Facebook challenge and the Instagram challenge of the 10 years and 10 years. Thanks for helping out the CIA, the FBI, and the NSA.
Oh, yeah.
You just gave them last year and now. So it's like face recognition. And all these people sending in their, to get their DNA tested. Welcome to CIA's got that. The NSA's got that. FBI's got that.
Yeah, well, and
you're giving all that. You're giving that data to them.
Well, think about the case, and it's going to Supreme Court right now on this, okay? So I won't say the name of the company, the DNA company, but a gentleman his wife had sent in his information. He never knew that he was adopted and that he had a twin.
Oh,
really?
The twin did a murder. The cops sent in the information on the DNA to all of the ones, and they got a hit on him. They're trying to prosecute him on the basis of
DNA.
The DNA, but should that be allowed? For one, what am I looking for? The privacy. Is that my private information that they have that they should have not ever been able to do? Were the cops wrong for doing it? And two, now this guy has never known that he was adopted, never knew he had a twin brother, which obviously just killed somebody.
Yeah.
And I mean, all of this came out in the case, and now he's suing everybody from the police. He's suing the district attorneys, the state. He's suing the DNA company, and I mean it's nasty. I mean the money that he's going to end up getting from this. But my question to you guys is how? I mean, my wife tried to talk us into doing it because we can't go past the Civil War with our family history, and it's just
that's a long way. I can't go past yesterday's.
But I mean, she's like, "Well, we should do this."
Yeah,
and I'm like, "No, because I don't want that. I don't want them having that deal."
That's the thing. It's like I was saying at the beginning of the show with the refrigerator stuff. Is how accessible or how much am I willing to give up? Because it's like the theory is, it's like, well, I don't have anything to hide. Well, not right now, but
if I'm not mistaken, in the terms of agreement, when you sign up for these DNAs, that your genome is now property of
them,
company or corporation that
they can market it,
and not only sell it, market it, but what in the future can they also do? Yeah. Could they replicate you?
Yeah,
could they make a look? You are the awesome dude. I'm gonna make another one of you.
That's what I'm scared of, because I'm so awesome that they may want to clone me and be like, oh, here's the love doll.
And on that note, we'll go to.
And they're making money off me, and I didn't even get any.
Exactly, and I won't make any money off of me.
Yeah, exactly. And someone else making money off of it. Damn it.
But you bring up a good point, because it's what and I'm sure you deal with this a lot in terms of business, probably, and setting up systems and things, because it's like, you know, what do businesses and what do people want to allow? It's like I want to be able to get my mail from my phone, or I want to be able to have vendors log in, or, you know, it's like, what, you know, how do you control that?
Did you see it yesterday, going on that subject? Did you see yesterday where Best Buy is in the, they're probably going to get sued again. Again. Lady takes her laptop back to the store. They do an open box, you know, sell it again. All of her information, Social Security, banking, everything. The gentleman that got the computer was nice enough to get a hold of her and say, hey, this computer I got from the open box has all your information in it. I want to come with you and make sure that you know this at the store. They're going to get sued again. She's already hired a lawyer. They didn't wipe it. How important, Adam, and tell people, I preach it to everybody. My phones, whenever I get rid of them, they go back to factory default. I pull the SIM cards out of them. I pull the memory cards. They don't go back. And a lot of times, if I can get away with not giving them back my phone, I got a drawer full of phones. I don't donate them. I don't do anything with them because.
Well, bring me 3 of them. I need them for tally lights.
There you go.
Yeah, I mean, bare minimum, you know, if you got a couple choices, you can have the hard drive, ask for the hard drive back, or you know, verify, you know, or take it to somebody that can go ahead and you know, wipe the machine properly. You know, use proper data destructive tools to go ahead and forensically wipe it, and then reload the operating system if they need that back on there. But don't just bring it back to the store, you know, and expect them to do it. I mean, you're opening yourself up for failure because you know, a lot of times.
Do you do that for clients?
Yes,
we
do.
Will you do that for someone that just says, hey, you know, I'm not going to get rid of it, but I don't want anybody else to have it. They'll bring it to you and you wipe the drive for them?
Yes, we do that all the time. We do. We'll even remove hard drives. Look, if they want to dispose of their computers, they're getting rid of it. Give them back their hard drive. There may be data on there at some point in time that they may have forgotten.
And just a factory reset is not good enough because the data still resides on that drive. That's what a lot of people don't realize. It's just, oh, well, I did a factory reset.
That just starts.
That's just restarting the boot. But if you look in there, your files are still there.
That's it.
I tell you what scares me about it is, and this is back in the day when we were BPI in Tarpon Springs, we had a machine go down. And there was a data recovery company in St. Pete. And so I called them up. I said, look, if you can just at least get me the raw videos off of here, that's really what we weren't worried about all the other stuff, but we just needed that raw data because we had just done a big project.
Oh, wow.
I took it down there, and then they called me and said, now, it was only, you know, back in the day, it was only 500 gigs. That's the biggest you could get, right? They called up and said, oh, you're going to have to drop us off 3 hard drives. I'm like, well, why? It's only 500 gig. He goes, no, because when we unpack all this crap, you're going to have 1.5 TB of data. Right. I'm like, how's that possible? He goes, you don't ever erase a hard drive. Ever.
No.
I'm like, really? You can go back that far? He goes, yeah. And so because they were doing they were doing forensic depth recovery.
Everything.
Right? So he goes, you're going to be amazed what you got off there. I'm like, dude, we got back projects we had done 6 years earlier.
Right.
It blew my mind.
Oh, yeah. When I worked for the government, and they had what they call an electromagnetic oven. And you took the hard drive and slid it in like an easy bake oven, and there was nothing on that, and you weren't even allowed to wear watches near it. You know?
Oh my God! So that big of a magnet?
Oh, it was a monster.
I worked for a company, and their thing was when we turn in our laptops, take the hard drives out. We use the the IBMs, and we'd pull the hard drives out of them, send back the computers, and then the hard drives are like just destroy them.
Hey, since we're talking hardware real quick, I have a question for Adam. So, Adam, have you seen the new, I think it's Alienware, has the new updatable laptop, where instead of sucking it into just, you know, when you buy a laptop, man, that's pretty much what you get. They're making it, they're giving the consumer the ability to upgrade.
Oh.
Hard drive, RAM, video cards, it's all upgradable.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, technology today, you know, now with external video cards, full gaming desktop cards that can go through either Lightning ports or, you know, USB 3.1. I mean, the technology is there now for the ability to do that. But so they're doing in order to do something like that, it would have to be pretty proprietary for like the graphics cards. So you'd have usually if you'd have upgradable, you're probably only going to be like maybe 1 or 2 generation of graphic cards before they decide that particular, unless they decide, hey, look, we're going to stick with one platform that works. You know, one particular connector, one technology that's going to constantly work, and we're going to, they're going to have to then partner with somebody to.
And you bring up a point because it's the same thing. Like at some point, that shell of a laptop won't even support. Like I had to get a new monitor with the computer that we got because the old monitor won't even run on the new graphic stuff. And so, but it's like with the laptop, at some point you can upgrade the sound card or whatever it is 3 times, and then the technology is so far advanced that the shell won't even allow it to support.
So I would say probably maybe 1 or 2 generations in graphics cards. It's a good marketing
thing.
Good marketing ploy. It sounds great.
And it's Alienware, so it's all marketing.
It's Dell. So
yeah, it's Dell.
I was like, dude, you're getting a Dell. The days of when Alienware first came out, man.
Oh, they were the.
I loved Alienware.
Matter of fact, I got my editor here. I need to give you his laptop. He needs a CMOS battery, or is that right? Yeah, motherboard battery. And he goes, I'm like, okay, let's take it over to Adam. Adam fix it. Adam fixed everything.
That was the Alienware. The biggest Alienware was. I was working at a company. Was the only time I've seen live an online scam that he sent a guy $2,000 over Western Union to get the newest Alienware, and he was, I loved him, but he was dumb, but. That was back in the day, and so it just came out, the newest one, and he had to have that, and he lost all his money.
So we're like 46 minutes in. We've only got about 12 minutes left.
All right.
I'm going to talk about a piece of software that I found for, I think it's for iPhone, and it's for both phones. So Android and iPhone. It's called Swish. Now I'm the video shaman here, and
what's the URL on that?
It's in the app.
Is it an app store? Okay.
It's in the app store. You can get it for $9.99, or you can do $119 if you want to do the one-time buy, and it gives you the premium service all night. What it does, it allows you to create with their templates videos.
Oh, cool.
Little short videos. Instagram stuff, Facebook stuff, and
TikTok.
Well, no, not TikTok.
Oh, okay.
Because what happens is you're using their video templates, and you're adding in your logo and some verbiage. So what I did is, as I downloaded it, I paid for the service, and if I don't like it, I can always just stop it. It's not a big deal. And then I just picked the video. I just picked something. So I got this boxer girl. She was she was like a silhouette, and I was able to put like knock out your competition, make yourself different, video, separates you, blah blah blah, and put it on there. And it took me 5 minutes at most.
Yeah.
Do it up on Instagram, and
it's cool.
People are digging it. I'm like, okay, so I'll test it. I'll test it for the next 2 weeks, maybe a month, to see how well it really works. Because I'll tell you what, it's you can't get it easier.
That is cool.
And it does have, you can manipulate a little bit. I mean, there's something you can go in there and you move things around in a line.
It got good. It's got 90% rating, so it's pretty.
Right.
I'm like, all right.
I'm gonna play with it. I was gonna let everybody know that I'll keep everybody, because I want to bring the cool video things. Because everybody's always asking me, well, how can I do my own videos? I mean, not that they want to take the work away from me or us.
No, but there's a lot you can do yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Because I don't have time to make these little 15-second videos for them. So it's so far so good.
We teach people how to do that stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, it's just fun.
Exactly. That's why we're here.
Yeah.
Is to teach people, because you know what? Not everybody knows how to take a computer apart and put it back together.
Yeah. And I don't want to.
And I was going to say, I've built 2 in the last 5 years, and that's too many.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I don't. When and Adam, I don't know. Adam knows. I don't know if he knows my buddy, but Ed is. He has always been the guy that builds everything, but he's so busy now. And then I met Adam for the last couple of years in networking, and you just kind of listen to people talk. Whether or not they're a bullshitter or not, not a bullshitter, he knows his crap.
Nice.
And he saved one of my clients, because one of my clients that are near and dear to me, had some guy come in and unplug some stuff, and it was a rat's nest. And I said, call Adam. And then when he left there, they're like, that dude's awesome. I'm like, I know.
Great.
He cleaned it up, made it look good, and everything running good. So
nice.
It's a good thing. But anyway, that was so Swish.
Okay.
It's called Swish. SWISH.
Video on the App Store.
And whether it's for Androids or not, I don't know. Because
yeah, you can get it on. You can get it, and it's on the Google Play Store.
I think it's something. Look, do a 30-day trial. Sign up, pay $9, get the premium stuff.
Yeah.
And then just hammer them and see how they work. And if they work, good. If they don't, cancel at the end of 30 days.
Hey,
check it out.
So
that's cool.
So, Mr. Systems guy, Mr. Systems tech dude,
yeah.
Got anything good coming down the pipe? Because I was hearing something the other day about Rusty found this and it does this and integrates this and blah blah blah, and I'm like, ooh, that sounds good.
Well, we're always testing stuff, and yeah, there's something new that we have coming out. Not ready to talk about it yet, but we're gonna we'll be there.
5 weeks?
2 weeks. 2 weeks.
Yeah.
2 weeks.
Yeah, we'll give you the ultimate tech guy's answer. 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks.
How many databases is it running? Let's get technical.
Let's see. Well, everything's cloud-based in it, so technically, well, if you take all your social media into it too, it's going to be quite a few.
Right.
Yeah.
It's going to be good.
Yeah,
Will
exactly.
it be good for a video production company?
For advertising and marketing, that's where that realm's going to be at. There's a couple other things we're playing with right now. There's a company that I'm doing some work for that they have a pretty cool piece of technology that I've gotten my hands onto, and for the photography industry, and me and you actually have to have a conversation about this. They want me to help build the GUI end of it. So
cool.
Me and you have to have a conversation, but you'll be able to basically take a photo in and put it in a whole bunch of different templates, show them all the information. You'll be able to have variable data into it and everything for selling your products and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
that'll be a huge,
really cool.
Be a huge thing.
And
yeah,
then there's a whole social media side to it that one of the problems is right now, what everybody knows with Facebook, since the congressional hearings, we don't know what data we can grab anymore through the APIs. It's kind of a hit or miss. But as that's being done too, let's say that Eric likes Dalmatian dogs.
Yeah.
And I can grab that data. Mm-hmm. Well, I can retarget him and show him every single one of the products customized to him.
Yes.
So
yeah, you could have pillows and whatever it is, and mugs and whatever with Dalmatian.
Through this algorithm that they've written, they can collect that data, know that you're a size, for a woman, like a size 2, and your favorite color is purple, and your leg length is this, and that you like this style of pants, and they can show you that piece.
Oh, that's
so it is going to be. They're starting out in the photography industry because that's. When you take a technology like this, you need something that's very, very simplistic to use, and you have one variable that you're changing, maybe 5 sets of variable. Yeah. And then when you take it to the e-commerce side, which is the merchant side, that's when this technology will blow up. This company will, overnight, they'll be bought by Google or they'll be bought by somebody to.
And that's huge. That's like huge. for people and businesses and stuff like that. You want stuff to help you. Like if I'm a photographer, I want to go do photo stuff. If I'm a lawyer, I want to go do lawyer stuff. And if I'm a gardener at home, I want to do gardening stuff. I don't want to spend, but if you have a gardening app that tells me the seed and it gives me a thing that says you should plant right now or this weekend, I'm in. But stuff like that I want to be able to do my thing and have an app do the other stuff. Yeah.
Data is king. We all know that.
Love that.
At the end of the day, he who has the most data on the consumer is going to win.
And content.
Yes.
Data and content, so your biggest, baddest boys.
And the other cool thing about it is, every time that it generates on the, say it generates something for you to see, that's already done and optimized. So everything from the link down through the schematic markups.
Now that
Everything's
he's kind
done.
of revealed everything.
Yeah.
That does in 2 weeks. We'll have to have a name.
Yeah, exactly.
We got about a minute and a half left.
Cool.
Anything good from Google coming on that we need to know about there, Mr. Internet Guru?
I think that
Shaman?
Google's still playing with a new update, and I'm guessing that within a month we're going to see a real update. One of the things is YouTube just changed some of their stuff due to the Bird Box Challenge, and thank you people who blindfold yourself and go driving. You just you just messed it up for a whole bunch of YouTube.
Thanks. Now I can't do
people.
it.
Yeah. But yeah, they actually they came in and clarified what stupid was basically, and said you can't do these dumb things anymore, and they're kind of buckling down on pranks and stuff. And
I've noticed.
Adam, got anything going on? We got 1 minute.
Oh, anything going on?
there you go.
What's coming that we need to worry about or look out for or we'll go get?
Right now, I know Windows 7 people are still utilizing it. There was an update two weeks ago that had a major issue, and they turned off file sharing for most small businesses.
Oh God.
So watch your updates. Watch the Big Brother.
Have a nice day. Yeah.
Driving your business for you. So just keep an eye out and
Nice.
turn on manual updates if you can.
Now, next week, next Thursday, we're not going to be here because Eric and I are over at the Synapses event at the Emily Arena, but we will be back on Monday. With that being said,
Oh, you're not inviting
seconds. What's that?
You're not inviting us?
Hell yeah, you can go. I got all the tickets that you want, man. I'm more than merry.
show up.
We got to go. We'll talk to everybody. We'll
Thanks
see
a
everybody
lot.
on Monday.
Bye now.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
We got the plans cause we are the tech shamans. We understand cause we are the tech shaman. Dude, I got this cool thing to show you. Really, man? Yeah, it's far out and technical and stuff. Awesome. Yeah. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the tech shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the tech shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the tech shamans. Come on